Alright guys, welcome back to 7 Days to Die. This is Leonite with Leonite's Gaming, and this is me trying to take over a town. Let's get to it. So the arrows do actually follow a little bit of the arc of gravity, so you have to aim a little bit above them. I obviously didn't right there, but... So one other nice thing is when you're crouching you do have the crosshairs. May have my mouse settings a little bit too high, but that's okay. And when you're working on taking over a town, you won't really have time to loot all the bodies, but that's okay. There's gonna be enough loots around here anyway. So the only one you want to be careful of getting too close and doing the point blank shot is the big guys, because they take more than one shot. So 2 to 3 shots for them. And these guys as well, because as I said, they bob and weave pretty good. These are probably my least favorite enemy, just because of their bobbing and weaving. Nice part is we will get a bunch of levels for this. So the one other ones to really watch out for are the crawlers. You'll occasionally see them around. They really suck because when they hit you, they have a good probability of breaking your leg or at least spraining it. So you really want to be careful with them. Alright, let's take a look at this one on the edge here first. And again, I have a very, very poor tool for this, because this is a metal door, and this is probably going to use up the entirety of my tool here. Just trying to get through this one door. And there's usually barricades all over the place that you have to get through. Really nice when you have better tools, but as I said, this is all I have right now, so this is what I'll have to deal with. Oh, deer running through the middle of town. Like this one, this is going to take forever to get through. And there's a little bit of a graphical glitch, and that there's actually a barricade here. You just can't see it. Somehow I got stuck on it. Would really not be fun if a zombie came up behind me. Not sure what's actually there right now, but we'll go ahead and pop up here. Refrigerator, nothing too useful, but we did get a cooking pot, which is really nice. And some more food, that's cool. Sinks usually have coffee beans in them, so they're another really nice thing to pay attention to. Coffee beans can obviously be used to make coffee, but you can also farm them. And coffee, while it does decrease your wellness by a small amount, it's quite worth it just because it increases your stamina regeneration by a heck of a lot. So it's quite nice. Alright, gonna have to make another stone axe, and what am I missing? Oh, well that is really less than ideal. I'm missing stone. Hopefully there's some. There's some. Hey, he's going after the deer. I'm just gonna let him go. Hopefully we get a decent axe here. Stone axe anyway. 35? No. We did not get a decent one. Right now at level 6, I should theoretically be able to make up to a quality of 110, but it's all random number generator, and as we all know, random number generators are the greatest thing in the world. Heavy sarcasm, by the way. Vitamins are another good thing. Every 2 of them increases your wellness by 1, and that's, as far as I'm aware, their only use. So hopefully we get lucky with a mighty smelting book. We did not. A few things there. As you can see, I'm running out of inventory space quite rapidly, and that is basically useless. One other thing you can do is these brass doorknobs and the brass candlesticks. They can all be crafted down into scrap, so you can do that just to save a little bit of space. Another thing to note, if you're looking for short iron pipes, which we'll get into in a little while, you can break toilets and they'll always give 1 short iron pipe. Another thing is you can stop on a ladder by just not moving. That was one of the nice features they did add in 11.4. Grab some of that. So we got 10 scrap brass out of that. Lead trophies can be turned down into them. Fishing weights can as well. Every 2 turns into 1 scrap lead. We'll craft that down. Another thing to note is your cooking pots can also be turned into scrap. However, we need this one right now. So we're going to convert that into scrap. These guys into scrap. Again, these are all, every 2 converts into 1. Same thing with nails. I don't think there's anything else I can scrap right now. So we'll just do that. And we're going to need to make a chest to store our stuff in. So we'll go ahead and get this. And we're going to camp out up on top here tonight. Alright, that'll get us a chest. And one of the other things that we're going to want to make right away is we need some more cotton. No, that's not what I want to do. There we go. Cloth fragments is what I want. So with 6 of them, you can craft them like so and get a sleeping bag. Any bed will work. A sleeping bag counts as the same thing. Once you place this down, that becomes your respawn point. So now that we found this town, I don't really want to have to try to find my way back here. So now that I placed down the sleeping bag, if I do happen to die, then I'll respawn right here. So I'll just dump pretty much everything into here. And unfortunately there's no shift clicking that you can do, so we have to be stuck with manually moving things. And your inventory gets to be quite a mess quite quickly. So you have to be kind of mindful of inventory management at all times, otherwise you'll never be able to find anything. So we'll put the food up in here. These guys can be turned into scrap, but I'm not going to do that right now. What we got here? Purse. Purses can sometimes have weapons in them. Ooh, that was a nice one. And air conditioning units, I believe, also can have feathers, but they usually have short iron pipes. Alright, so it looks like everything up here. Alright, look through that. Some more scrap lead. Now you can also pick up all these couches and place them as like barricades. I found them to be, they don't really do anything for that. They don't really stop anybody from coming in, so I'm not even going to bother with that. Like I said, I'm kind of bummed that we can't get through there, so we'll have to go around the front side to loot the interior. Ah. Another thing to note is when you're crouched down and you go to search, it actually takes a little bit longer to search. So if you're in a hurry, don't be crouching when you're searching. But we're going to need to get ourselves some stones. Got a little bit of time before guys get to us. They are just coming out of the woodworks here, aren't they? There's a crawler over there. Sneaky buggers. I'm glad that I made as many arrows as I did now, because we're probably going to burn through most of them. I don't know where that little crawler went. There we go. What else we got around here? Now, cars also have some really good stuff in them usually. Also, another thing to note that is beginning to appear is when you kill... Ooh, got a first aid kit. Awesome. These things right here. These are gore blocks. When you kill enemies, they will decompose first into this stage, and then they will decompose into these gore blocks. This was added in 11.4, 11, Alpha 11. Ooh, hunting rifle parts. Cool. Ooh, big fatty. So zombies can actually get over your defenses with that. So you have to be very careful about setting up your base to account for that. Because if you don't take that into account and you think you're safe behind a wall, well, they'll just start dying as they're coming up to your place, and then there'll be gore piles everywhere and they'll just crawl on top. Ooh, level 7. Awesome. Now, another thing to note is animals will also decompose into these gore piles. So when you kill one, you can actually break the corpses so that way they don't decompose in that. And you can break these as well. But also, corpses add to what's called the heat map. And the heat map actually has a chance of spawning a random horde that homes in on that location. They don't exactly know where you are, but they know there's something going on over there. So when... Ooh, sledgehammer. That will be very nice. Had some lag there. Another crawler. But I'll explain the heat map a little more once we get into cooking, because that really increases your heat map. Looks like the guy got stuck on fence post. Fine by me. More vitamins. That should be 1 wellness increase there. Okay, currently undetected. That's good. Now the sledgehammer is kind of an all-purpose tool, but it's also really good at killing zombies. 1 hit to the head should take them out. And where is that guy who thinks he sees me? Hear him over here somewhere. But I don't see him. Yeah. We'll deal with him in a little while. I want to break through this area right here quick. Oh, this is going to take forever. But you can see it's starting to change its texture. There we go. Ah, there it is. Looks like she came right through the wall there at me. But this is what I mean by they will break through things just to get to you. So if you ever hear zombies smacking at something, chances are they're trying to get to you. So crouch down, see if you're sensed. If you are sensed, you'll probably want to go and take them out right away before they can do any damage. Another guy down there. Now these cash registers, they have a chance of containing those coins. They usually do. So that's basically just more iron for you. Or that. Shopping basket, eh? Ooh, got some beer. Now these can be broken down and turned into scrap. They actually produce quite a bit of scrap. Another thing to note is you don't want to break a lot of the lootable objects because they will respawn over time. The default setting is 7 days between respawns of loot. So that's just another thing to keep in mind when you're out looting stuff. A lot of stuff can be broken down and made into like scrap, so metal and things like that, but it's also kind of better to leave them because they turn into a renewable resource over time. But they do a lot of times take quite a while to get to that, and I don't think I'll be able to get through here because I don't have my sticks and yeah. I'll just make another one real quick. Hopefully we get a good one this time. Now this one has the green bar on it. You can see the quality on it is 349. This one's still pretty bad, 35. This one's got the blue bar. It's got 483. That's pretty good. Entity damage is 19.08. So that'll do some pretty decent damage to a zombie if you hit them. Hit them in the head and they're pretty much dead. Alright. So again, we're trying to find the... I should probably... This button here lets you get over to putting stuff on. And there's multiple things in there. What do we got here? 10, 20, 10, 13, 5. They're the exact same. So we'll put the baseball cap on. Thought I heard something. Come on. There we go. Sometimes the hitboxes are a little bit weird. You can't always target them where you think you can target them. Alright. Fridge, more water, that's good. Some more pots, that'll be good for some iron. There. Now in almost every single house there's almost always a bookcase. I think I've found maybe 2 of the houses that generate don't have bookcases in them, but almost all of them do. And a lot of places have upstairs and basements, so you'll want to make sure you're thorough when you're checking everything. We really need to get a better tool for this. Repair tool. They're really useful for what if you're... Ooh, beaker, nice. If you're being attacked and you don't really have anything to replace the wall with, you can just repair it. The stone axe does do repairs, but it's actually pretty slow. Come on. Nothing. Backpacks also usually contain some nice stuff. Pistol barrel. Please be a mighty smelting book. There is not. Hunting rifle, we already have that. You'll want to empty everything out regardless of whether or not you actually take it or not, because that allows it to respawn. A short iron pipe. See, we went in there already. I think we looted this whole house. Yeah. And if you listen carefully when you're in the plains, you can hear voices in the background. It just kind of adds to the ambient creepiness of everything. Personally, I kind of like it. Ooh, 2 bookcases. Leather tanning, nice. It's one that we wanted. We already know that one, so we'll just drop it on the ground. I suppose that could be nice and keep it for my friends when they join. Nothing there. Shotgun shells. Very nice. Let's see here. Found the garbage. Now, where is he at? He sounds like he's in here. No, he's outside. You can kind of tell where they are by the sound of them walking. Grab his attention quick. So now we have even more reason to go kill animals besides the food, because you can get animal hides from them. Ooh, now moldy bread is really good. That can be used to make antibiotics. So animals will drop hide when they die, and that can be turned into leather, which can be turned into armor. And we're also going to need that to turn into a crossbow. So we've done a pretty good job of clearing out this town so far. But I really need to empty out my inventory because I'm already full again. I'll drink this one quick. Eat that. Now, a lot of the canned food, while not smelling, does have a fairly significant downside. And that would be it actually reduces your hydration. If you hover over them, they'll tell you how much they do, how much they increase your fullness or decrease your fullness in some cases. And same thing with your hydration. That doesn't tell you about the wellness that it does for you, but that's okay. For the most part, it tells you everything that it does. And when your wellness does increase, you'll get a notification on the bottom, which I got a vitamin, so I can use that quick. And then I should get a wellness increase. Yeah, you can see it right on the bottom of the screen. Went up to 101. Alright. I think I'm probably going to need another chest here. Actually, I know for a fact that I am. Alright, so that is basically garbage. That can be turned into scrap. Those can be turned into scrap. Scrap. These can also be turned into scrap. We have books in here. Blood bag. Now, oil can be used to make weapon repair kits, which will come in really handy later once we start working on our weapons. And some feathers can go in here. Other than that, keep hitting the wrong button. Thinking E is my inventory. So as you can see, there is a lot of different loot. So when you're thinking about building your actual base of operations, you're going to need room for a lot of different loot. That could be scrap, turned into scrap. Put these guys in here. Hang on, you always want to have bandages on your hotbar. If you don't, you're going to regret it when you do get hit by a zombie and you start bleeding out. Because if you don't have it, we'll just get rid of that. If you don't have it, then you'll bleed out and die, and you'll be kind of pissed. So if it's on your hotbar, you can go ahead and use it even in the middle of combat when you're backing away from everybody. But if you have to stop, open up your inventory, and get it out, it's not a good situation. I've been there a few times and regretted it every time. So one thing that I said we will need is we're going to need to get some more small rocks. But I do want to finish looting this place. It is 2 o'clock in the afternoon. About 7 o'clock the zombies start running. So by that time you want to be back in your base and bunkered down. It used to be you could really tell it was 9 o'clock when they started running and it was dark out. But now I believe they changed it so it's the angle of the sun in relation to where you are, so I believe that means that later on they'll be changing it so different biomes, they start running at different times. But that also means they stop running at different times, so probably one thing I should do is I should run to the water with all of my empty glass jars so that way I can get some water for the night. But we should have enough water to make it through the night, no problem. Glass panes are pretty much useless unless, of course, you really want to do some decorating, but they don't. Personally, I don't think they look very good, so I don't even bother with them. Alright, so what do we got? Door's locked. A lot of times you'll find the doors are actually unlocked, which is a nice boon. Oh, perfect timing. I did not want to pick that up. Another leather tanning book. Now another nice thing is, once we actually get a forge going, we can make a bucket and move water around. Ooh, I can equip both of those. And once we do that, then we don't have to keep running to the water every time to go refill our glass jars. Makes it kind of nice. Interesting. I don't know why I can't swing that. Well, that's nice to know, so I cannot use that for some reason. Okay. It's rather annoying, but okay. Gonna need to get some more plant fibers and sticks. Let's just run over here quick. Should be some small rocks around here somewhere. But regardless, we have enough food and water to make it through the first night, so I'm not too overly concerned about that. And once it gets dark out, I'll probably do some work off camera, reorganize the inventory that I have, and just try to make it a little bit nicer to work with. Corn can be used for a lot of different things. I was thinking about that while looking at the corn there. It can be used to make a lot of different types of food. Most of the food you can make with it reduces your hydration, which is kind of bad, but it doesn't do too much, but it also doesn't restore much health or hunger. So you have to actually eat a lot of corn in order to make it worthwhile. Actually, alright, you should stop running here in a second. There you go. Why can I not hit him? I believe there's a bug going on here. Ah, zombie chased him. Pressing R when you have an arrow pulled back already will resheath it. Ah, he saw me. Really want to get some leather and some meat for tonight. Now that I actually have a place where I can put it. There we go, got him. And they take about 5 seconds to actually do the full search on. But very nice. We got six venison, so that'll be rather helpful. But as soon as you loot them, they turn into a corpse pile. But now I smell, so I have to be kind of careful. I got to get back to my base and drop off the food into a chest quick before I get swarmed. Ooh, that's a good pistol too. So I'll want to repair that. So the higher the quality, the more damage that the weapons do. That's not what I wanted. There's another one there. Huh, that was a pretty good shot, if I do say so myself. So another thing that we're going to want to get once we get the Mighty Smelting Book is this stuff here. This red is clay. Now clay can be used to make different molds, and you can't really do anything with the forge until you have clay. Okay. Another use for venison, you can cook it and make it into basically cooked meat, which restores a good amount of hunger, but it also reduces your hydration. You can also make what's called venison stew. It's probably the best food in the game, but it takes a little while to get to. It requires corn. It also requires potatoes, which we haven't found any potatoes yet or seeds for it. So we'll have to work on getting that. But once you have potatoes, my personal choice for food becomes baked potatoes. They don't restore a whole lot of hunger, but they have no downside other than the fact they don't restore a whole lot of hunger. But they stack in 64, they don't smell, so if you're going out and about, you can just take a stack of them with you and you're pretty much good. I should probably make the stone axe quick. I got 12 more, that's good. So about 3 o'clock right now. Alright, let's get back to the shelter quick and drop this food off. Might as well pick up the corn while I'm here. And all this stuff. Now the stuff that I've been getting for like, there we go, at least it dropped this time. It never used to drop. If you took out the bottom one, it didn't drop any resources whatsoever. So, kind of happy that they changed that. The stuff that I've been picking up that I've been wearing, and these gore blocks do disappear, it doesn't have any armor value whatsoever. Or not really armor value, but like I said, you can equip multiple items, and you can equip your pants, your leg armor, a shirt, a jacket, and then armor for your body. Alright, we'll put that in there quick. That should remove the smell. There we go. The icon on the bottom left disappeared. So that's good. I'm just going to keep these on me. Goldenrod up here. The bullets there. Alright, so if you take the animal hide and put it in here, each piece gives 2 leather. So that's not really enough to do really anything with. But that's okay. While that's working, I can drop a bunch of this stuff off. So I mentioned that food smells. In addition, there's numerous ways that enemies can find where you're at. They can find you by smell. They can also find you by sound. So if you make a lot of noise, that increases the heat level of an area. Yeah, these stack in 15s. 3 o'clock. You know what? I'm going to go run to the shore quick. It's not too far. I can follow the road north. Drink that quick. Eat that. So we're going to take... Oh. Apparently my stomach did not like that. So, occasionally when you eat food, it'll tell you that it increases your gassiness level. It's not something that really has been implemented. It just makes it sound like your stomach gurgles. That there. So we got that back, so that's cool. And anytime you eat something that's in a can, you get an empty can back. Now, empty cans are also very useful in the beginning because you can take them at water and right-click on the water with it, and it'll fill it up with water. And using that on a campfire with a stick gets you a can of water, of purified water. So you won't get sick from it. It's actually quite nice right away in the beginning before you can really do anything else. We happened to find this village, which was very nice. And we also found a cooking pot. So since we have those, we don't have to worry about doing that. One downside about them is that they only stack in their singles. They don't stack multiple on top of each other, so you can really run out of inventory space fast. This game is actually rather hard until you until you actually start getting situated. Alarm going off. Little rabbit. Not going to worry about him right now. But I am going to pick up these stones. Just going to ignore him for right now. And in order to fill this up, you just basically walk into the water and right-click on the water with the jars, and you'll end up filling it up. So you got a few guys at us. So the one other thing that I do want to get before night falls, come on. There we go. Is I do want to pick up some more logs. And the reason for that is you can use logs as a cooking source. Ooh, there's a pig there. I think I'm going to go ahead and get the pig. Where is he? Guys are kind of annoying to hit in the water. Yeah, we're just going to let the pig go. Basically, the water kind of acts as a block when you hit it, so it basically stops all projectiles. Kind of annoying, but kind of makes sense too. So, like I said, we're going to get some more logs just for cooking, and also for making a little bit of a barricade. You can make what's called wood frames. They're very easy to put down and to pick back up. They're one of the only things that you can actually pick back up without any difficulty. Alright, nothing around us yet. And I don't like how the sky is getting color. That means that they might start running a little earlier than I anticipated. So after this tree, I'm going to run back and hole up a little bit. Yes, I'm a little paranoid because I don't have any armor, and yeah. Alright, now if you notice, my stamina in the bottom left hand corner is completely out. That means that all attacks and everything that you try to mine goes much slower. Ooh, 118. That's good. I might actually repair this one for a little while. Don't hear anyone too close, so we should be good for a little bit yet. Go. So breaking trees and basically doing anything that makes noise increases your heat level. Running a forge, running a campfire, they all increase your heat level. Ooh. Wooden club, that'll actually come in handy. Since I can't use the sledgehammer, and it's a good quality one too. Should be able to use this, right? Yes. Alright, so entity damage on this is 4.65. Not great, but it works. Alright, we're not going to run at this guy. We're actually going to beat him down with this quick. Just to kind of show you the way melee combat works in this. So what you want to do is hit them and back away, so that way they don't hit you. But they don't get stunned nearly as easy as they used to. You used to be able to run up to them and just keep smacking them, and they couldn't do anything about it. But now, the amount that you stun them is based on your weapon as well as your stamina level. So that's why I didn't want to run at him and deplete my stamina any more than it already was. Give me the highest chance of stunning him. It didn't look like I stunned him at all, but that's fine. Alright, so I'm currently undetected. One of the things that I said I wanted to make was some little barricades. So what we're going to do, it takes 8 planks to make 1 barricade. So we want to do frame. We want to make these wooden frames. So what we'll do is put that in there, craft one of them, and then we'll make 3 more while we're running back. And another good thing to get in the habit of is when you're getting close to your base, you'll want to crouch down to make sure that no one's following you. Because if guys do follow you back to your base and you block it up, they'll just start beating things down to try to get to you. By default, they have a 60-second range where if they don't see you or sense you in any way, smell, whatever, then they'll just kind of give up. We're also going to place this right here. Still want to know why I can't swing that. That's okay. But yeah, it looks like it's getting sunset right now, so we're just going to pop up here. Oh, the sun's still pretty high actually, but that's okay. I don't feel like taking any chances. So we're going to make a campfire quick. And as I mentioned, campfires will increase the heat of an area, so you want to be careful of where you put these. Ideally, you want to have them in a separate building, like 20 blocks or so away from where you're at, but we don't really have that luxury right now. So we're just going to grab the cooking pot, take this, put that in here, and then you can see that it gives you your list of things over here. Until you make them once, you can't click on them to make them. So we're going to put the water in here. And as you can see, 7 minutes to make. If you hover over this, it says burn time of 3 minutes and 12 seconds. So if you want to be really efficient, you can go ahead and do this. So right now we're at 6 minutes 24 seconds, 36, 48, 7 minutes, but you always want to give a little bit extra, because once you put them in, it will start consuming it, and then you have to hit the cook button in order for it to begin cooking. So just having something in there burning increases your heat. So the one other thing we'll want to do, now that we're getting a little bit of water, is we're probably going to boil the venison. Boiled venison is, or just boiled meat in general, is the best way of making it. There's 3 ways of making it. You can make it with a stick to get charred meat, which is the worst. It smells the most, restores the least. The middle ground is grilling it, and the way that you make a grill, I don't have enough. You take 9 short iron pipes in a 3x3 in the middle, and that'll make a grill. Thought I heard something swing. So if you make that, you can grill your food. You use that for a lot of different things. But like I said, I don't have the resources to make it just yet, so I'm going to hold off on that. With the pot, you can make a lot of different food. Venison stew is made in the pot. Bacon and eggs is made with the grill. But with the pot, you can make boiled meat. It may not sound the best, but in this game, it smells the least, and it restores the same amount as what the grilled version does. So just the fact that it smells the least is probably the most beneficial. The downside is that it requires a bottle of water to make, and you don't get that bottle back. So you consume the bottle. There are ways of making bottles. Once we get a forge going, I can set up get a glass jar mold. Let's see here. So if you look at the jar mold, it's 5 clay and a empty jar, and that gets you your jar mold. And then you put sand and sandstone, you crush it down and crush sand, and then that can be used to make jar molds. So once you find a desert and find a bunch of sand, you can get as many glass jars as you want, and you don't have to worry about water anymore. So now you notice that these only stack to 15. Oh, they do tell you your wellness on there now. That's cool. Huh, okay. Like this can of chili says the gassiness, which upsets your stomach. But so they may only stack to 15, but you can stack them as much as you want in here. I've had a stack of over 500 cooking at once. It obviously took a really long time to cook, but they'll stack in there, and they'll also stack in the output. That was something that I found that was amazing to learn. So once you learn that, you can stock everything up, throw in a bunch of fuel, begin cooking, go and do something else for a while. You don't have to sit there and babysit it and pull things out every 15 minutes or every 15 and put 15 more in, etc. It's just a really nice thing to note. But we're also going to make a bunch of the goldenrod tea. Probably everything that we have except for probably one goldenrod. I'm going to save one just so that way if we do happen to find the mighty smelting book, or if we happen across a hoe, then we can go ahead and start planting stuff. So this is going to be boring now. I'm just going to sit up in my base here and I'm going to do some inventory management, and I'm going to try to make some goldenrod tea. It's the same process. You take the bottled water, you put it in here, and I put your goldenrod in here, and it'll go ahead and make the goldenrod tea. So I will show you that in the next episode, but for now, this is Leonite with Leonite's Gaming signing off. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Have a great day.